Alton. Ooh, wow. We have a new board operator here, so it's okay. Don't worry about that. But if we heard anybody in the audience, though, Louisa Alton, and she is with, this is called Rhonda Allison. These products, you happen to promote these products, but you actually are the esthetician's teacher.
Yes.
And you've actually had your own television show where you actually just wanted to teach everybody. That's why you're here, is to kind of give everybody some ideas about what you can do to take care of yourself, take care of your skin, especially here in Arizona. And yes, men too. I always say yes, men too, especially we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. We have everyone that's getting entered in to win. It is a treatment that you're going to get. It's a Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous at Swena, which is where you teach. And that number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Get entered in to win one of these. It's fabulous. Just even go and try it. And so we're going to let you get entered into that. You can call in here now, or you can even call throughout the rest of the show for it. We want everyone to get entered in to win one of these to try it. Okay, when we were at a break, we were sort of talking about, obviously, when you get older, it's a very tough thing, because when you're born and you're young, everything's great. You think everything's great, and everything's great until you're like 50, 55, whatever it is, right in there, and all of a sudden you stop and you go, oh my God. Yeah. What is going on? And it's hard for the person that's going through it, because now it is a whole nother ball game, and you really have to try jillions and jillions and jillions of things until you find something that may work, right?
No, it's true.
Why are my eyes gotten it's like I can't even see them anymore?
Yeah, the eyes start to recess, but also they get circles around the eyes from low circulation. So there are products that are, and this is where actives come in, and cosmeceutical-based products, is that they actually work. They actually create a result. So if I do something like an arnica in my eye cream, we create an arnica that's 3 times the strength of just a commercial arnica cream. And so that makes a difference in the swelling and the blood flow. The other thing is, as the eyes start to recess, sometimes the darkening, when we try to cover it with the concealer, we try to go lighter. And when you go lighter over a dark circle, what happens is it looks gray. And so most women don't understand, you have to go darker to cover darker. And a little bit of orange in the concealer will take away a bluish cast, and that's what you got, a little bit of that going on. So if you do pick these colors with your concealer, it's really important to get about a pigment darker, because the dark area is dark. But if I pull a light concealer, I'll try to cover it, and then the gray comes out.
Wow. So there is a reason for everything, really. Mm-hmm. What about lips? Because those are gone.
That's the number one concern, is eyes and lips. That's where we see aging first. But the thing with lips is, I used to do makeup for years, and when they would sit in the chair, I would look at their mouth, and the ones that had the deepest lines, I would think to myself, I'll bet she never wear lip products. And 9 times out of 10, she'd go, well, guess what? I never wear lip products. And I was thinking, I could tell. I could see that your mouth is aged. I don't see that with your skin, because it's thicker and it holds, and it's more like a spongy.
I got thick skin.
Yeah, and that makes a difference. But when you get older, you were saying you feel it, you taste it, the texture. I would start out with what's called a lip tint. It's much lighter. It's see-through. You got a little bit of gloss, but a gloss is sticky. It's heavier. You're not going to like a gloss. A matte lipstick is going to be dry. You're going to be licking your lips. So a lip tint is a great way to start, and clear. Just don't wear color to start. You asked about a lip pencil. Frankly, I think women that have never worn lipsticks, it's hard-pressed to push them towards a pencil. I think just doing a lip tint. And here's the thing, convenience is key. Getting something with a brush on it where you don't have to go dig out the brush, or not using your fingers in a gloss. It's key when you look at the packaging. Is this something that you can just pull out of your purse and whip it on?
Why do men shy away from all of this?
Men are not educated to take care of themselves at all, to take care of their skin. From teenage boys that never cleanse, we have a pad that they can use that you just wipe down the skin for acne, because we found out my own nephew wasn't even cleansing. The whole time I kept giving him cleanser after cleanser, only to find out that he doesn't cleanse. So there are pads that you can wipe down the skin that actually have antibacterial that prevent acne, and you don't ever have to wash your face. But when they hop in the shower, it rinses off. So skin for men, they're not taught, they're not educated. So their SPF, their cancer rate is triple precancerous cells from being in the sun with no SPF. But it's because they won't wear a 30 that feels heavy. They just won't do it. So we have new products out that have lesser sunblock, but they have tints to them that actually men like to wear.
Well, this product is a really neat product because it's so different. It's so diversified.
Yeah.
There are so many. How many? There's like 400 or so.
Well, I just mentioned that because we have a men's line. And many people don't understand the value of that is we have an anti-inflammatory added to the men's, but we made it feel lightweight. So most men that have tried it are like, I love this product. I'll use it. But usually when I wear sunblock, I look white, I look pasty, or it balls up, or it's thick. So the men's line really is geared towards using active products for anti-aging men, but then for people that are very sensitive.
All right. Now, again, I want to get this clear. It's not like you're trying to sell them on any of the product right now. You're just trying to get them to learn.
They understand they have to use SPF because it blocks and prevents skin cancer. We're the number 2 state now, Australia. We're right up there with Australia. That's a disaster.
Right. You guys all have to listen that we do need to take care of ourselves, and starting with just a regimen, not necessarily. You don't have to necessarily go in for these specialty treatments. Yes, treatments work, and they should be doing them, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But we want everyone to go in and try this. You're getting entered in to win one of them. It's a Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous. It's a facial that you're going to get. It's a special little treatment that you're going to get at Sweena. And again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So what about these treatments? I mean, treatments, do they really, really, really work?
Treatments work best when you combine home care with the actual treatment and knowledge of the esthetician. I mean, let's not underestimate the training that goes into aesthetics. They take years and years. I've been doing this 15 years for this company and 10 years for another company before that. And there are girls that have been sitting in for 15 years into these classes, and they pay hard-earned money to take the courses. Mm-hmm. I don't think people realize when you go into a store, a retail outlet, that the people that are coaching you and telling you about skincare, they get one class. They might take one class on 20 lines because they are representing 20 lines. How do you even understand the skin or the person coming to you and the lines that you're addressing to target these concerns? So when they go to school and they drop, by the way, school is now 10 and 12,000. So you're looking at this new group of women that are paying a lot of money to get this education, and they know what they're doing. Believe it or not, they can address concerns.
Sure, and it's wonderful. They have you can go to certain massages. You can get massages at certain schools. There's dental schools that you can go,
Absolutely.
And they're wonderful, and you get them for fabulous prices, and you'll love it. So again, we want you to get entered in to win one of these. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. And if it's not you, give it to someone you know. Maybe it's a man that you know that would love to have something like this. It'd be fabulous for them to have and try it. So let's talk a little bit about sunblock then, about how the importance of it, and because a lot of people don't like to wear it. I know I don't. Is it better to obviously wear it on your face? Should it be in the creams? Should it be in everything? Should we really be blocking ourselves completely?
Well, if you're wearing a lower block, let's say it's a 15 or an 18, it really helps to do a mineral, either liquid foundation. For most women, they may not like powders because they could create some aging if you're mature, So powders are for your more youthful women, but the way they're actually creating the powders is a marbleized technique right now, so they actually look lighter. But I feel like the foundation and the sunblock itself should both have a SPF in it. Absolutely. Because when they did a study on golfers, they sent them out with just an SPF and they came back burned, and then they used a mineral powder and they wanted to see the effects of it. And they came back after hours, all day, no application of SPF, and they didn't burn. Mineral powders are huge.
Let's talk about this, too. This is something huge. A lot of people want to know, what's the difference? What's really the difference between your store-bought, let's say at, your drugstore, like Pond's or whatever it is that people know, all those things.
Yeah.
And then to the differences if you went to buy it at a line like, they know the Lancomes and all those out there, as opposed to something like this.
Yes.
What's the real big difference?
The cosmeceutical products will use double the activity. So if you go to a department store, they can sell up to 5% actives of a naturally occurring fruit acid or something derived from the skins of the actual fruit. What those acids do is they wear down that outer layer and break it down so that, like we said, it's like a snake shedding its skin, okay? You lose that old skin, and then all of a sudden you have this new oxygen to the skin and glow. The difference is we can sell more. An esthetician can prescribe a higher active. So those acids actually do help the skin faster rejuvenate. because what they're doing is they're creating exfoliation. And when you exfoliate, the more you exfoliate, the better the skin looks, because your skin forgets how to exfoliate. When you get older, it's like, exfoliation, what is that? I didn't lose any I didn't shed any skin cells because my turnaround is slow, my cell turnaround.
A lot of people have rosacea.
Yes.
Especially here.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about what they should do for that?
Yeah. If they keep the heat down by products that are called anti-inflammatories, which is aloe is a great anti-inflammatory, prevents the irritation created by the heat. There's also a little herb called sea buckthorn. We use it in our rosacea serum. So a combination of algae or dragon's blood. So these types of ingredients keep the heat down, that because the heat is what creates the irritation, whether it's spicy foods, the environment, genetics. And once you cool that skin down, we actually have cooling products also. Once the skin is kept cooled down, you'll find you won't get those episodes for rosacea. But diet has a lot to do with that too.
Does it really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So before we go to a break, what is the one thing that you want to tell everybody? Because we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit further. We're having fun with this today. What would be the number one thing? Should we be using those brushes now that everybody are saying? What do you feel about those?
Yeah, I'm not really crazy about the brush, because if I have dark
Storm
skin,
forecast. Trump bows out.
Go ahead.
I'm Barbara Cusack.
if I have dark
tropical
skin,
storm
they can
warning
be
is
too
up for
stimulating for me and cause a little bit of breakout if I'm acne prone. So it's how you use and how often. We can talk about that.
We're going to talk about that at the break. We're going to go to a break. Keep on calling here. Get entered in to win. It is a fabulous treatment from her at 602-277-5369.
If I traded it all.
Welcome back. So we are so excited about we're talking all this time while, we're off the air. We're talking more about my skin and what we can do. We were talking a little bit about the products, and I want to go back into that real quickly, because there is a big difference between what you get at the stores and what you go to Target and get, and what you get in, even to a department store, as to what this is. This is like doctor quality practically.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. It's carried in medical offices. That's the difference, is it's professional, and a professional line isn't sold in a drugstore.
It's not sold.
Isn't.
This actually is not sold anywhere except with somebody who's a professional esthetician. And again, I want to make it clear that Louisa is just the teacher. She's just a teacher, and she's here to talk to you about your skin and how, take care of it a little bit. We're entering everyone in to win. It is a fabulous, it's beyond fabulous treatment from Rhonda Allison at Swina, where you teach also. You teach there. And it's a fabulous place to go. So everyone's getting entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. If you don't get in now, keep on calling. I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show. It's for both men and women. And it's fun. Yeah. It's a great thing to try and see, and it's fabulous. You should be doing these things once in a while.
It's fun to see your skin change. People don't believe their skin can change. Like, I had a gal who is in her 50s, and she just didn't believe we could turn it around, and she saw the difference in the aging, and pictures tell 1,000 words. She said, I saw myself in a picture, it changed. My skin changed. But what's key to understand is, when you go to an esthetician, you're getting a consent form that you fill out. That's like, I remember I told you we were the skin detectives. I have to follow everything a person does from the time that maybe they had a bad sunburn in high school and they blistered, and then the minute you try to use anything active on their skin, it kind of rebels. So we take those types of people that are sensitive or rosacea, and we build them up to tolerate more and more. And peels are phenomenal to create changes in the skin and to take years off and to tighten that epidermal layer.
The other thing that you had said, when people go into an esthetician, if they're not literally sitting down with you and doing what you have here, which is what is this here?
This is a skin consent, qualifying your client to see what is it that they're doing. And you asked about a brush that you use for scrubbing the skin. Well, some people, the brush does great. They could do it every other day. Other people, you don't want them to do it more than 3 times a week. And then your younger clients, it could cause breakout. It's too stimulating. There are some women who were using it twice a day, and their skin was actually looking raw because they were combining it with an acne cleanser. It's too much, too soon. It doesn't work. So you have to treat it with kid gloves. Skin is sensitive sometimes. I mean, 51% of women think their skin is sensitive. What does that say?
Sure. Absolutely.
Are we crazy?
But we really do need to make sure that people that you're going to are making sure that they take care of these things. It's wonderful to go into a spa and have a treatment. People love doing it, but you also have to make sure that if you're going to do this, do it with somebody who's really going to get to know you and really going to direct you in the right direction for you, right?
Yes, because the concern, when you were asking earlier about a lip product, the concern is that you didn't want to feel the texture. You really had never worn it before. But on the other hand, the tints are lighter texture. The same thing with skincare products. People buy by form. If they had acne in high school, they're still buying a gel moisturizer, and they need more now. And an esthetician will say, look, that cut it in high school, but right now your skin isn't high school anymore. You've graduated. You need some creams. You need some serums. You need to layer your products. Those will create the difference. But you cannot do, even every season, we should be changing our skincare.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
if
a
I
lot.
go to San Diego, my skin looks 10 years younger because there's humidity. We don't have that here.
Right.
And I have New Mexico is one of my states that has the lowest humidity of any state in the whole U.S. So when I get there, my contacts fly out of my eyes, my hair's standing straight up, and I'm itching all over from the dryness of my skin. So wherever I'm going, travel-wise, I have to change my skincare. And seasonally, we have monsoon season, so suddenly women are breaking out and they're 40 and 50 years old going, well, how am I 50 years old breaking out? We have a ton of humidity in the air now.
So there's a lot of different things, and you can learn from listening to her. That's what she's here for. She's entering everyone into wind. Her Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous, done at the Swina School. That's the Institute of, what is it?
It's Southwest Institute of Natural Aesthetics, and I only teach there once a month to the estheticians only, and I go in to just teach them how to use these products and combine them, because the way you combine your product is what creates the results also.
Wow. So there's a lot of different rings. And then she's had her own television show, wanted everybody. She heard me on the air.
I loved you. You were
Thank
so
you.
good. I got
And
all inspired.
So she wanted you guys to hear a little bit about what she does and how she, learn from her, learn from some of these things that she's telling you about. Our number here is 602-277-5369. I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show to get entered in to win one of these treatments. Again, it's 602-277-5369. Let's go into those peels.
Yes.
Because everybody's
peels,
hearing them.
People think peels are a scary word, especially when I say acids. And I say acids because there's a differentiation between an enzyme on a skin, which is derived from different fruits, plants, animals, and that breaks down the barrier. But then peels do it with acid peels. So using these combinations really make a difference. Now, are there different levels? Yes. There's a light, medium, and a deeper. But my mom thought, she said, I saw on Oprah Winfrey where everybody got burned from peels, and I think I mentioned this before, and I said, Mom, we teach them light peels. You might not even see any peeling from the skin, but you're getting regeneration. When you want to see that layer really shut off is when you're going into a mid-deep peel. So you might do one of those 3 to 4 weeks. But a deep peel I might do seasonally or twice a year, depending on your age. But there's premature aging. You could see a 20-year-old who looks 40 from the sun damage and the smoking, and she's out drinking every night till 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. Okay, and she looks like she's 40. So working with premature aging is kind of a new thing we're seeing because of sun damage.
Let's talk a little bit about sun. This product is so different. It's not like you have 3 or 4 products. 400.
Yes,
I
yeah,
mean, 400.
4 pages.
And let me just also talk a little bit about this. Was the growth factor, and I want to talk a little bit about that's called growth factor serum.
Yes.
What is it?
Growth factors are derived from a protein in plants, and what they do is they actually stimulate. They originally were used for burns, on trauma, and what it does when you put it onto a wound or a trauma, it actually increases the cells, and it stimulates that area to create more cells to heal quicker. So let's say you have a little pimple and you pick the pimple and then you get a red spot that lasts forever. When you put a growth factor on it, it heals it in almost half the time. And so in studies, it was found to heal burns or trauma much, much quicker. So these little things are invaluable when you're doing any kind of a peel to rebuild that skin quicker.
Well, let's ask you this for someone who's got acne.
They're great. They're great. Like what I said, when
and
you
is it
take that
okay
little
for a
pimple,
younger kid to use that too, a teenager?
Oh, absolutely. They're very safe. And there are some other ones that are out there right now by companies that are human. I wouldn't really suggest those. But the plant-derived ones are very good. I brought this e-serum for you. It's an interesting...
It's pumpkin e-serum, not just e-serum.
No,
it's pumpkin.
Great.
What is
It's
that?
got the pumpkin seed oil, which is very high in zinc. And what they found out was zinc, when you took it internally, did absolutely nothing for the skin. But when you put it on topically, zinc made the skin flourish, healed it. We know that now that zinc is good for some other things, but, TMJ and things like that. So pumpkin is a little bit different because it adds the oil and the lavender and the bergamot to help stimulate the skin.
There are so many different things. What are some of your final words today to talk to them about? I want you to go ahead and do that.
I just feel like we could take more care of our skin, period. I just think that by not using a sunblock and once you create a burn with the sun, that's when you've created the dam. And all that sunblock does is it provides the barrier so you don't burn.
Well,
you can get a tan, but you don't have to burn while you're getting it.
It's a perfect time to be talking about this. I just realized it's Memorial Day weekend.
When everyone's out there.
Everyone
Yes,
is out
good
there in
point.
the sun.
Yes.
And you know what? Take care of it. Wear those sunblocks. We want everyone, keep on calling throughout the rest of the show. You're getting entered in to win one of her Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous treatments at Swina. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And wear sunblock.
If I traded it all, if I gave it all away for one thing.
Welcome back.
Wouldn't that
We got to
be
turn off the music. Okay, there we go. We have a new board operator today, and I'm really excited about having him and working with him. My next guest has been on with me before, and I'm excited today because we're going to do a little bit long one today. We're going to do a 45-minute one with her. This is kind of neat. I have Louisa. Louisa, say your last name.
Alton?
Alton, so that's the last name. And I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about what you do.
Yes. I've been working in skincare and teaching seminars to the esthetician, the professional, from dermatology offices or plastic surgeons to their own business. And what I do is I train them on technologies and Rhonda Allison products, which are active cosmeceutical blends.
Now, let me tell you something, guys. She's had her own TV. You've been
Yes,
on television,
yes,
TV show. You've had a lot of different things. You're here to educate. It isn't about selling you on a product. It happens to be that this is a product that she works in. Yes, she believes in it and it's awesome. But today you're here, and the last time that you were here, you want to educate the public, and it's both men and women out there that are listening, to get educated on what to do for your skin. And because she really just trains the professional that's working on you, the technician.
Yes.
So that's really your position. But what you're wanting to do and why you're here and why you had your TV show and everything is to educate everybody.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want people to know that when it comes to anti-aging or aging itself, that there are so many things you can do to turn the skin around and the body. And so the message is, what can you do that's not invasive? And the mission statement is, take care of your body now. You only have one body, one face, one skin. And if you take care of it now, you can actually look 10 years younger in the next coming years. So there are things you can do on a tight budget, and there are things you can do that don't cost thousands. I know we're all familiar with plastic surgery and doing these surgical procedures, but how about starting to do some prevention so that you don't have to do that?
Right. I'm in. I'm
on board too.
You know,
I
I'm a
started-
bit on that because I personally also believe that too. Now, you have a special that you're going to give away. It's one, and everybody's getting entered into win. Now, this is a special. First of all, it's a radio special, but it's a Beyond Fabulous
anti-aging treatment. Yes.
Anti-aging treatments. That's normally there's a cost to it, but you're going to enter everybody into win one. Now, what is it that they're going to get? What is the treatment?
They actually do one towards anti-aging with a series of products, and it's a clinic called Southwest Institute of Natural Aesthetics. Big words, but we call it SWINA for short. It's in
know it
Tempe.
very well.
Yes. And the clinic, the students work on you, and they do an incredible job. And they are there's instructors there that work with them also. So it's a great way to get treatments, but not have to pay $100 for an hour.
Right, and the Southwest that school has been on my show, by the way.
I love that school.
That is a great
SWINA
school.
is the tagline for them. They go by SWINA.
Right, it is a great school, and what's really nice about all of those people that are getting trained, they're really doing fabulous jobs on you, and you get it at a very low cost. But right now, we're entering everyone in to win one of these. It's how long is it? Is it an hour special?
Yes,
What
it's
is
an hour. And you know what you just said was really true. The gals that work on you are so excited to be in this field that you're getting fresh young women that are like so into the skin. They're passionate. Sometimes when you get someone who's been in a field a long, long time, they can be a little tired cutting corners. This is great to get newbies in. and look at your skin where they're really excited about you.
Right. Now, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone who's calling in, we're just going to enter you in to win. It's a Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous treatment. Again, that number here is 602-277-5369. Should people check out the website about that, about the product and where they can see it, or is it best off to just let's talk a little bit about it first?
I think they should. I think Swena has a great website. What Swena does is they sell to anybody who wants to go to school for aesthetics. Mm-hmm. So you go to their school and they teach you on active ingredients. Many schools don't do that. So it's interesting that when an esthetician or somebody that's thinking of going into this career, they may look at many schools, but you really have to get a school that's up to par with education. And I educate and I do classes at the school each month. So what's interesting on our seminars is the consumer never gets to hear what I'm saying. And I said, I want to bring this word out to the consumer because they don't even know what to ask for.
What's the word?
Yeah, the word is there are things you can do that are not painful, that are on a daily basis, or in treatments that just turn the skin around, like give you a glow. You know when the light bounces off your skin and you see somebody and you go, that skin is beautiful? I worked with a gal just recently, Alex, that works with me. And when we did a class, we brought a man came in and saw her skin and said, and he pointed her out in front of our class. He was there to teach on the technology. And he said, your skin looks beyond fabulous.
Wow.
But it did. She got the glow and the bounce to her skin, and he noticed it.
And how many women and men can say that they look in the mirror and they say, gosh, well, it was not that long ago when I walked in a room and people looked. Everybody turned. Now it's different. But in any case, but here's what we want for you to do is we want you to get into this products and try them, see if they'll be something that can work for you, and get one of these fabulous treatments that are fabulous from these students that are learning that actually will do better for you sometimes than your regular esthetician. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I want to talk about this product.
Yes.
Because it's really neat. Yeah. What's really funny, and I'm going to tell everybody, what happened the story is that I actually found this product by total accident. I happened to go someplace, and I was telling them of an issue that I had, and she said, well, go in the back and talk to our lady there who was an esthetician. And I did, and I was looking in this big, long line. It's a very long line, big, long, lots and lots, a lot of products. But she said, why don't you try this? And she gave me a little sample, and I said, this is great. I take it home, and I was very fascinated by it because I loved it. I loved the way it smelled. I loved everything about it. And I went back, and they were at the store. It was not her, but it was the store that was gone. They closed, and it was like, oh my gosh, I had tried it for a week or whatever, and of course they went. I was so sad. And when I met you, actually, you were a listener. Mm-hmm. You heard the show, and on a Saturday, and you were a listener. You called in, and you came in, and I said, I, for some reason, feel like I know this line, right?
Yeah, it was very weird, the synchronicity.
How it happened.
Yes. Well, it's a hard line to find, but what's different is active ingredients. They call them cosmeceutical products, and that means that they're double the strength of what you can really buy in a department store, but more importantly, they're esthetician prescribed. So you have the esthetician coaching you, following the regimen, and that's where the results come in. But also that active ingredient, whether it's AHAs, which are alpha hydroxy acids that are derived from fruits or milk or anything like that, whether it's that or an active ingredient that we call peptides that stimulate collagen. Everybody knows the buzzword collagen, you know? And that's key for a woman, is to sustain the collagen in the skin. And you can do that. They actually found out in studies that there were ingredients that would stimulate the collagen by sending a signal to the brain. Very interesting stuff.
So what can a man or a woman do who's on a tight budget? They don't want to spend a lot of money. What can they do to have a more glowing, beautiful skin, such as yourself?
It really all starts with the skin care. When you're buying a commercial line, you may be buying something that's absolutely not right for you. But, for instance, your receptionist here, it was kind of interesting. I gave her some cleanser before I left last time, and she has an olive background, and it goes by your ethnic background because a lot of your ethnicity that has olive or darker skin tones, we call them the Fitzpatrick classification. What that means is you're going to be more sensitive to chemicals, to fragrance, once you have that darker skin coloration or dark eyes. Well, I gave her a little sample of the cleanser, and she said it cleared her right up, and her daughter that has acne, it's cleared her up. And the reason why is she's probably chemical sensitive. So we don't use salts like sodium lauryl sulfate to get a sudsing agent in there. And we don't use fragrance, dyes, or parabens. And that's key. The other thing is knowing the esthetician has looked at your skin. Like, what's your concern? Do you have a concern with your skin type?
Of course, it's dry.
Okay.
And wrinkles.
Okay.
You know, I think
actually,
that's the
you have
worst.
beautiful skin.
Thank you.
I mean, she has thicker skin, but the coloration, we could get some color from it. I mean, and that could be part of makeup too. But what you find is if I was to do a peel on you, which I'm going to get Carol to do a peel.
Yes, we're going to do that.
Yes. What happens is you're taking off all that old, think of it as like a cellophane wrap that you're wrapped up in. And once you get that cellophane off and take that barrier off, all of a sudden the glow and the redness, the pink, the coloration comes back to the skin. You actually see some
That's
blood
what's
flow.
missing. The pink,
Yes.
the blood flow.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is.
And you know, if you go through an illness or a difficult time, or you see someone depressed, all of a sudden they've aged 10 years. But if you see somebody who's nurturing themselves, then that kind of puts into their skin and infuses with nutrients, which are antioxidants, those are fighting the free radicals. And we always hear that, but what does that mean? What is free radicals? The sun puts off a free radical and causes aging. And what antioxidants do is they're the bodyguard of the skin. So if you use a sunblock that has antioxidants in it, you're protecting, and it's also a treatment.
We've got our lines open here. We want everyone to get entered in to win a Rhonda Allison Beyond Fabulous. It's a treatment that you're going to get. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100.